This is Derek Martin, and he's head of the sustainability department at Susquehanna, and had 70 faculty and students participate in a worldwide eco challenge, and they came in 7th. So go ahead, Derek.
Thank you.
We're anxious to meet your co-team members.
Yeah, so thank you for having us. We're happy to be here and talk about Eco Challenge. I'm joined by Dr. Carol Weaver and one of our students, Callie Lambard, and there might be a second student who's joining us at some point. We'll see if she's able to hop in or not. But just to give everyone a little backstory about Eco Challenge, it is a program that's run through the Northwest Earth Institute, and they facilitate the whole program. Oh, Kira is here. Sorry, Kira, I didn't even notice you. She's also here. So we have everyone here who is going to join us and chat. So Eco Challenge is a way to engage a community in trying to change habits. So the People's Eco Challenge happens every October, and it's set up for 3 weeks, which is about the time it takes to foster new habits. So there is a very intentional design of this program that it lasts for the same amount of time that it would for someone to build a new habit. And there are about 11 different categories of challenges. And so a participant can join a team and then choose to change their life, do something new, stop doing something, and then earn points for their team. So there's 11 different categories of actions, from anything from water and energy and waste and food and transportation and community engagement, social justice. And then in each one of those categories, there are specific actions that you can take. They are wide ranging. So there are some really basic things like watch a documentary, and then it goes up into really in-depth things like buy new windows for your house and everything in between that. And so it really highlights all the different ways in which people can choose to take action. And then through these 3 weeks, then all of the impacts are added up. So each team is earning points, but we're also tracking how much that equates to in terms of environmental impacts. So at the end of those 3 weeks, we can say that our team and then all of Eco Challenge saved X amount of pounds of carbon, saved X amount of trees, ate X amount of vegan meals, et cetera, et cetera. And so it really shows that there is a power of collective action, and how individual little changes, when done in tandem, can really add up to major environmental and social good. So this is our 3rd year running the Eco Challenge every October, and we've gotten a great turnout from our campus, and they've really gotten engaged and really enjoyed not just the competitive aspect of it, but also the community building aspect as well. So I guess I'll just turn it over to all 3 of our my fellow Eco Challengers, and just kind of hear a little bit about each one of them and what they did, how they found the Eco Challenge, that sort of good stuff. So anyone want to jump in first?
I can go first. Oh no, you can go first. Go ahead. I'll wait.
First.
Sorry, those look the same time. I'm Callie. I'm a sophomore at Susquehanna, and I also work in the Office of Sustainability. So I helped to kind of get the word out on this project, and I reached out to people during the project. And so during the Eco Challenge, each week I would email them a little word of encouragement. So I would find some quotes about how your individual actions can really help the environment, to kind of keep people focused on why they are participating. So I think that 3 weeks can be a long time to try to change actions, especially if you are very set in your ways, you've never tried any of these things before. So So I think that the little motivation goes a long way to help people stay on track. And then we also did some spotlights, and we asked team members to share their favorite pledge and why they were engaged in Eco Challenge. And so we shared those through email to the whole team, and we also shared them on our social media pages. And it was really great just to see why people were involved and what they were doing. So one team member shared that she was trying to use reusable water bottles and that she wanted to have a sustainable job in the future. And she hoped that this would be kind of the first step in a sustainability journey. Someone else said that they really wanted to spend more time outside, and they shared a photo of them watching a sunset on campus. So it was cool to see people doing a lot of different things, but still working towards the same goal. I think that's the biggest thing that I got out of this is just the power of small actions by lots of people. A lot of the teams that we were positioned with in the final rankings were large corporations who had their employees working on the challenge. So I think like we were near like the computer company HP had teams and Starbucks had a team. And so I thought was amazing that our team had about, I think, 70 or so members, but a lot of the teams that we were beating had over 200 team members. So we really just showed commitment, and I think everyone showed such excitement about being involved in this that I think it shows that even if you have a small group of people, you can really make a big change, and you can excite a lot of people and inspire a lot of people. And I know I kept some of the actions that I was doing during the Eco Challenge myself. Like I started meditating during it every night, and it was really difficult at first, but then I found it to be something that was like so relaxing and so helpful, and so I still try to do it as much as I can. And there are some people also that have chosen to make an extended pledge. So they said, I want to continue to use reusable water bottles or say no to single-use plastic. And then I've been emailing them every so often to remind them of that and to encourage them to keep up with this pledge and to try to keep making new pledges. So it was really exciting to see our little Susquehanna community come together and get excited about making changes.
Okay, I'll go next. First, Callie put me on that email list because I'm still keeping up with my pledges that I made during the Eco Challenge. So my name is Kiara. I go by Kiki. I'm a junior at Susquehanna. So I discovered the Eco Challenge when I'm a neuroscience major. So I was going to the Natural Science Center, and I just saw the sign. I saw it for 2 days because like the first time I saw it, it went by so fast because like on the first floor, like the teleprompter or whatever it is, it goes by so fast. I didn't see it. And the second time I seen it, and then I wrote down Derek Martin's email because I was like, oh, I want to do this. And recently I've been getting really like, I've been discovering how much I care for the environment. I didn't realize this until I came to Susquehanna. So like, I've been so interested in trying to find new ways that I can learn and participate in all these new things. So when I came around, this was like perfect. So I really had a good time. I gave up reusable water bottles and straws. I switched to cold water, and I tried to like limit how much I was in the shower, unplug everything. My roommates were mad at me because I was unplugging everything all the time. I did a few things, but first of all, I fell in love, and I realized the biggest struggle about like doing this is that I realized you have to give up a lot of things. You know, there's a comfort in going to Starbucks every day and just like grabbing a straw, and then like having to remember, oh, let me grab my reusable container, or let me bring a reusable straw. And like I was in a suite this year with 3 other roommates, and like sometimes they were kind of disencouraging because they wasn't doing it with me. So like then I'm like, okay, everybody get no straws. And then I bring them my reusable, and they just grab a straw and throw it in there. And I'm like, guys, I'm like, okay, let's try to limit the plastic bottles. And then they started this challenge, and it's not bad, but it was like caps for cancer. And this is a good thing. But then they all started buying a bunch of plastic water bottles all the time. So I was like, it's a really good thing too. But then we was like having so many plastic water bottles in our house all the time. But it made me realize that I may in the future, first of all, in the future, I would like to continue this and even challenge myself to do more things at home. I got my mom to get reusable grocery bags. And so now I'm excited about that. It made me realize more of a commitment it is, but I'm willing, like, it made me realize that I want to take this commitment as well and just like learn more. And actually I signed up for more classes and like sustainability classes in the fall. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah, I don't know. I've actually really enjoyed the Eco Challenge a lot. Like, I'm so glad that we was able to do it. And exactly like you said, like we went up against big teams like HP and like little Susquehanna. Like we were able to do stuff. It was a great challenge. I would do it again. I would recommend it. I talk about it all the time. So when I seen this email, I was like very excited. Yeah, but.
Hi, I'm Carol Weaver. I teach at Susquehanna. I teach history, and this is my 3rd year that I participated in the Eco Challenge. So I always look forward to getting the email that the Eco Challenge is starting. And I tend to do the same activities, but usually add one per year, something different. But most of my activities are about nature. So there's one activity that I consistently do where you have to spend at least 5 to 10 minutes in nature or reading about nature, like nature writing or nature reading. I tend to do that, or just going for a walk. That's another activity I tend to do, is to spend at least 30 minutes walking in nature every day. I really enjoy that. I do try to do meditation like Callie, but I'm not as devoted. So that's something I need to work on. And then some of the challenges are one-time challenges. So like reading, like Derek said about watching a documentary, or a challenge that I took was to read about LGBTQ issues, this Eco Challenge. I think that's about it. I really enjoy it. I think it's just a wonderful activity. And one other thing that I wanted to mention, one thing that I really enjoyed this Eco Challenge was I made an effort to make posts on the Eco Challenge website, especially what I saw on my walks, like the birds or the animals. And then it's always nice to get a return comment or a high five from the other Eco Challengers. So I think when I do participate next year, I'm going to try to post just a little bit more. I like to read other people's posts, and I like to post myself. And thank you for letting us participate today.
So I had mentioned that we can track the impacts of what we've done. So I'd like to share out a couple of those with everyone, just so you can get a sense of how wide-reaching our impacts were. So 1 second while I pull that up. So through the 70 people on our team, we traveled 204 less miles in a car. We saved 1,166 pounds of CO2. We avoided 108 disposable cups, and where are they? 378 plastic bottles, 422 plastic containers, 210 plastic straws. We helped 25 people. We spent 7,495 minutes outside. We saved 14 pounds of paper, had 356 meatless or vegan meals. We spent 1,697 minutes being mindful. We talked to one public official. We planted 5 trees, 21 hours volunteered, traveled 59 miles by foot, saved 2,172 gallons of water, among other impacts. So through our 70 people, we can really see that all of our actions really amounted to some really great impacts. So I think with that, I think that's everything that we had to share with you. And I think we'll all be very open to answering any questions that you have.
Hi, my name's Jack. Sierra Club for a number of years had a program, Cool Schools, and every year they put it in one of the magazines, yearly magazines. They put in a list of the schools. Has Susquehanna ever participated in that?
Yes. Yes, we have. So we have been listed as one of their cool schools since 2018, or yeah, I think it came out in the fall of 2018, I believe, and we were listed as a cool school.
Does a school promote, from a health standpoint and from an environmental standpoint, the idea of animal agriculture is one of the most destructive things we do. Number one cause of climate change gases, for example, and obviously stream pollution and so forth. Does the school in any way promote vegetarian or vegan meals?
We have
in the
a
cafeteria?
we have a vegan station in our dining hall, and every one of our dining options on campus has at least one, if not more, vegetarian and vegan options. So there's always something for our students who are wishing to eat in that way. I also talk all the time with faculty, staff, and students, and they always ask me, like, what's one thing I could do? And that's the absolute first thing I say every time is cut down or eliminate the amount of meat that you're eating, and you can do so many amazing things for our planet.
Thank you. Can I ask one other question, Mark?
Sure.
It seems to me a number of years ago, Susquehanna had, and I can't remember the official Sierra Club name, a Sierra Club College Group. Am I wrong in that?
It was probably before my time. I began in 2018, so I'm not aware of it, but it probably was before then, but it is not here now.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, a number of years ago, probably the early 2000s, but okay.
We have a question here in the chat. What are your top recommended documentaries? Would recommend plant-based lifestyle as a challenge next year? Do you see it?
I do see it. Yep, just reading it through. Thank you. So I really like the Game Changers. That's a vegan documentary. I think it kind of puts it on the head of just because you're eating a vegan meal or diet does not mean that you can't be a top athlete. And that documentary shows that we have top athletes and Olympians and weightlifters and all these people as vegans, and that highlights that. So that's one of the documentaries which I really like. I also found that Forks Over Knives was very persuasive to make me go vegan for 2 years. So if you want any inspiration on that front, I found that to be a very persuasive documentary. I'm not sure if anyone else has any documentaries which they have watched and really like.
Two that I might suggest, and my old man names just leave my mind every now and then. Cowspiracy, which is very, really goes after environmental groups, and Sierra Club was one of them a number of years ago. The Sierra Club has gotten on board with this idea of animal agriculture. I don't know if they've gone as far as I'd like them to go, but their policy definitely has changed with regards to that. There's another one called Plan Eat, Planeat, I think. And this is on, well, I saw it on Netflix. What the Health is another one. So, I mean, these are things I look for, so I've seen a number of them.
One of my favorites, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
thanks. One of my favorites, it's not like food related, but it's Chasing Coral, and it's also on Netflix. It's just great if you want to know more about what's happening to the coral reefs in terms of climate change and bleaching. It's a crazy visual, and it, I think, really makes you think about like what we're doing in general. So like.
Did you say changing solar or changing corals?
Chasing Coral. I'll put it in the chat as well so you can see it.
And is there a Facebook or a website on this eco challenge?
Yes, there's a website. I believe it's just ecochallenge.org.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I would recommend David Attenborough's most recent documentary. I've forgotten the name of it, Life of the Earth or something like that. And he mentions about vegan. I used to call myself a vegan, but what I would encourage people to say is a plant-based lifestyle, because vegan to me can have a lot of processed food, vegan butter, what I call fake milk, plant-based milk. I don't do any of
Oreos.
that.
Oreos are vegan.
Right. I'm nearly totally plant-based. This time of year, I do buy organic pasta sauce, but I don't use any oil. Everything is plant-based. Figs and dates and apples and bananas are my sugar. There's no processed sugar, anything. And I actually do a lot of my cooking in the microwave because it uses less energy than putting on the cooktop or the oven. But I'm really excited about the kids. Your enthusiasm just goes miles in reaching people. And I really appreciate that. You got 70. That's fantastic. And I think your numbers are much higher than what you're giving yourself credit for, because you've reached people that you don't even know you've reached.
And we also have we had a couple of side teams as well that were on their own kind of challenge. I set up a couple class competitions for a couple of our classes. So there's probably about 15 or 20 more who participated in Eco Challenge, just not as a part of our main team.
That's fantastic.
I'm taking an Cornell class right now and it's a whole food plant-based diet. I don't know if you've heard of Colin Campbell. He's in a lot of the documentaries.
Did he co-write the China study? Yeah.
So yeah, he was a Cornell researcher. He was with some other schools too, but he basically set up this class.
Sounds awesome.
And if you watch Cowspiracy, I think, and The Plain Eat, I know he's in that one. And there's a cardiologist from Cleveland Clinic, Esseltine, who's in a lot of those. And WVIA out of Scranton, public television, they did a series of lectures on health, preventative health. And they had a couple lecturers, Osted is one, and Kim Williams, cardiologist, who talked about a plant-based diet and strictly from standpoint of health, from a cardiologist standpoint. So there's a lot out there now.
Yeah, there's so many ways that you can look at plant-based eating from an ethical standpoint, from a health standpoint, from an environmental standpoint. I think I see someone wrote in the chat about how there's more cows on Earth than there are a whole list of other species. So just even the whole idea that we've changed our planet in just what the biodiversity of our planet is pretty incredible.
I think, and don't quote me exactly, I think there's 100 million cattle in this country. So
I would not be surprised.
Wow.
Jack, what was the name of that course you mentioned at Cornell?
I don't remember. I should be able to tell you the name of the course. It's a whole food plant-based diet, and if you put in, it's something was set up by Colin Campbell.
Okay. And is that
Should-
movie you mentioned, Planet Eat, EAT? Is that what you said?
Planeat, Planeat.
Yeah, EAT. Oh, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Derek, you mentioned that you had spoken with an official. Did you make any progress with that person?
Oh, I'm not sure who had that conversation. It was just one of the 70 people had a conversation with an elected official. So it was someone on our team. I hope so, but I don't know.
And I was wondering, like Wise Markets or any of the other companies around here, if any of them would ever be, if they'd be approached, would they be interested in having a team participate? I think it would be great publicity for them.
And that's a very good possibility because the sustainability manager at Weiss is an SU alum. So there, I could see that there being some really cool connection there.
And I also wanted to mention about not Kelly, I'm sorry, the other student's name didn't come up.
Kiera or Kiki.
Kiera, yeah. Kiera mentioned about getting her mom to stop using plastic grocery bags. And, as I remember the Stop Smoking campaigns, it was a lot of kids getting their parents to stop smoking. So good job.
Jack? Can you hear me, Lana?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, Jack, it's Judy Marvin. Could you send us, if not tonight on chat, but the Otzinachson group, could you send us the Cornell course that you were talking about? I'm not sure he heard me. Is he talking?
Well, if you go T. Colin Campbell, I got the T. Colin Campbell.
I'm sorry.
Foods Plant-Based. I'll find it. I'll send it to you if he didn't hear you.
Maybe.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I muted myself and forgot.
Okay. Debbie, could you put it on chat and then the Susquehanna students also?
Well, I can't switch off the phone or I'll lose the meeting, but I can do it afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. Type it in. Okay.
I'll email it to you.
Are there any other questions for our panel of participants?
Well, a huge thank you for your enthusiasm and your research, I'm sure.
It's our pleasure.
I don't have a question, but I do want to congratulate you guys and say thank you for sharing this tonight. It was really interesting and inspiring to hear about, just small changes that anybody can do. So thanks for sharing your time with us.
You're welcome. We are happy to have been here.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank you too. Thank you so much. So anyhow, and thank you, kids. You did a good job. Keep working on those adults.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And get more of your
Thanks so much.
Plant-based.
generation involved.
We will. We are always
So-
trying to get bigger and bigger.
It's frustrating for somebody at my age. I'm 75, okay?
Oh my goodness, Jeff.
I look at and say, you're the ones that are going to pay the big price. Now my generation is responsible,
Right.
but man, I'm trying to do what I can do, but hopefully we can get more people in your age category involved.
And maybe through the Sierra Club. Did you say they do it every 3 years?
Every year,
Every year.
every
Oh,
October.
it's 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
And so maybe next year, maybe Jack, I don't know. Do you think we could, the Sierra Club could help get participants for the
I'm not sure how everything works, so I won't answer that question.
Well, Derek, if you think of any way that we could help, please let us.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Yeah.
And if you want to make your own team, I'd be happy to help you set it up and that sort of a thing. So if you want your own team, we can definitely do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have 10 months to think about it.
Exactly.
Can
Think of a good name.
participants be from out of the area?
Oh yes, it is all
Fine.
online, so you can be anywhere and
That's
participate.
fabulous.
Well, if we get involved, does it mean something you're already doing or something you add to the way you do things?
It would be a separate team, so you'd be on your own kind of team, but I could definitely help you set it up. But yeah.
Come on, Jack, if we're all really, really good, we can't say that we improved.
Thank you, Jack, and everyone. This has been very, very enlightening. Sounds like fun.
You're welcome.
Oh, hi, Marilyn.
Hi, Anna.
So, okay,
Well,
thank you. Thank you so much.
thank
And,
you.
You're welcome, and thank you for the invitation.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy